Welcome to Riverbend Talent on WBGZ, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
Another Riverbend Talent on the Big Z, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company and by Mr. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance. Another Thursday night, another sea shanty sing-along underway down at Morrison's Irish Pub in Alton until 9 o'clock. Trivia night later tonight at the Conservatory. We got the Hideous Gentlemen playing the night market tonight at 7 o'clock. Right here in downtown Alton. Open mic later tonight at Raging Cajun. We got Cross the Line from 7 to 11 at Fast Eddie's in Alton. And the Bethalto Spirits Music in the Park happening at 7 o'clock tonight with Benbow City Shuffle. The Trag Band doing Grafton music in the park until 9 o'clock from 7 until 9. Matt Tall already underway up at George's Pub and Grill in Jerseyville. He'll go till 9 o'clock. Open mic with Butch Moore, 6 to 9 at Big Daddy's tonight in Edwardsville. The Skylark Brothers already underway. Started at 5:30. They'll go till 8:30 at Peel Wood Fire Pizza in Edwardsville. Drew Schaefer and Audrey Sims, 6 to 9 at the Cabin at Judy Creek in Glen Carbon. Josh Witt and Kevin Lee doing Deutsch Village Inn tonight from 7 to 11. Scott and Michelle at Pavia's Place in Granite City from 7 until 10. Rum Boogie Acoustics, 5:30 to 8:30 at the Prairie Inn in Dorsey. Of course, Experience Live Music Row going on down there in Belleville. Over at Red Flag tonight. I got this one sent in. I think it's 4 in the Strange Band, Windmill McLean, and West End Junction, an all-ages show at Red Flag tonight. And that's a Thursday night here.
Yeah.
Or around the Riverbend.
That Red Flag one, I am unfamiliar with all three of those bands. So there's some new names on the show.
New names, old members. I believe one of the members has been in some other bands.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, that sent me that. But quite honestly, I was on the fly when I seen it, and I appreciate the stuff being sent to me, but I only had that much time to really look at it. So.
Yeah, no, it was just, I mean, every now and again it's fun when we get new names, and we say a lot of the same familiar names over and over, and it's always fun to promote old friends, but when I do see, like, wow, three unknowns in one show, that's cool. Speaking of unknowns, we got an unknown coming in next week. We got a new band named Datura, new to us. Coming in next week, and that's always fun because we don't really know the guys.
We're supposed to have Special Ed in tonight, but
supposed to have an
what's
old.
What's he doing?
Well, I mean, they don't call him Special Ed for nothing. No, I don't know. Old friend Ed coming in, and he's the backwoods.
Backyard.
Backwoods. Backwoods, backyard. What you gonna do when they come for you? Now that's he's got the Roundhouse rented out. Sorry, I lost track of what I was saying there. He's got the Roundhouse rented out down in Wood River, and for the 6th of July, which he's throwing a free 4th of July party for whoever wants to come. So the Backyard Blues Band will be playing.
Now, you were explaining that earlier, and the way you said it, I'm sure you missed it yourself.
Yeah, I did probably. What did I say?
You said he rented out the Roundhouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Roundhouse, or the stage at the Roundhouse, anyone who knows the old Wood River Pool, Wood River Aquatic Center, down in Wood River, it's got the building at the end of the piece of property with a sort of a field between. I think that they shut the Wood River Aquatic Center down finally.
Yeah, it's not even there.
It's not even there anymore. See, I drove past that for a minute. Last time I was there, I was going down a water slide.
Yeah, it's been years ago.
What else is there? The old root beer stand.
For sale.
Is it for sale?
Yeah.
The old root beer stand. That was there when I was a kid.
Wood River High School's still there.
Okay, there you go. right behind Wood River High School, sort of the I think what's the football field. No, it's the Roundhouse. It's an outdoor stage right there in Wood River.
But the Roundhouse and the stage are two different things. That's what I'm trying to get you to. Because he didn't rent out the Roundhouse. That would have been $150.
Yeah, the stage is connected to the back of the Roundhouse. It's the Roundhouse is a building in Wood River. I think there was rumors of it like being torn down a few years ago, and it became a big deal. The citizens did not want it torn down because there's nothing really wrong with the building. But there's a stage on the back of that building, And Ed has rented it out, and the Backyard Blues Band will be playing for free on the 6th.
You still didn't get to the important part. A band can rent that stage for $35.
Yes.
That includes electricity.
I was going to have it. I forgot about that because I was thinking Ed was going to be here to talk about all this. Where is he? Anyway, yeah. So I believe that's what he had told me. I said, hey, so you rented that out to throw a free party. What do they charge you? And he said $35 for the stage for the day. And there's, I believe, plenty of parking. There's a nice field. So basically, since Ed's not here to talk about his party and his band, we're going to talk to all you musicians out there who are looking for a place to throw a party.
Right.
Seriously, if you're the kind of band that is looking for a place to go, a place to have some friends get together, $35 for a covered stage with electricity and a nice little field in front of it.
Yeah. That
is the cheapest stage rental I've ever heard of. So it's got me wanting to spend $35.
Yeah.
Go do a show right now. I wish he was here to confirm all of this. But yeah, $35.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go down there and rent it for the day and just plug in an air conditioner and sit in front of it.
$35. I have air conditioning.
I guarantee I spend that on AC a day.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, man, that's a bargain because I have rented some places that were not real cheap. Let's just say, and okay, so it's kind of like what we talk about with the amphitheater. Not easy to set up to like charge tickets or anything necessarily. There's no fence around it or anything of that sort. But man, if you just want to throw a free show, I don't think it gets any cheaper than a $35 rental.
That's down in Wood River.
Down in Wood River.
You're not getting the amphitheater for that.
No. But speaking of the amphitheater,
it's going to be busy.
It is, from what I understand, it's already the berm was already packed with boats coming in today. Is what I had heard.
So it's a 3-day festival down there for the boats.
Yeah.
Boat racing.
And
they're going to announce all that stuff from, which we didn't know when we interviewed Nick DeWitt Bufano about the Mississippi Riverfest, which is thrown right in the middle of that.
Yeah.
So Friday night they're going to be doing boat racing stuff. Saturday afternoon,
boat racing
stuff. We're going to be down there, me and you.
Yep.
Right around 5:00. Come say hi, and then they're going to do Mississippi River Festival. And then Sunday
back to the boats.
So, and then you got the talent show down at Jacoby's, which Doug just talked to Corey about. So you're getting a text. I can tell.
It's Ed. I think because he's come in sometimes for the pre-records at 7. I think he's confused because he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm leaving here in a minute." It's like, dude. So I think he got confused on the start and stop time.
Yeah, he did. Anyways, also going on this weekend, let's talk about some of that. Trinity's Way open mic on Friday from 5 to 8 at Macias in the Old Milton School there in Alton. Little Victory will be at the Flock Food Truck Lot from 6 to 9 right here in Alton. And Philadelphia will be down at Morrison's Irish Pub in Alton from 6 to 10. Gavin O'Brien, the Buzz Tones, and the Downbards will be at the Conservatory on Friday night. $10 cover there. Doors open at 6, excuse me. The boat race after party is what Aaron Joe and Friends is putting on down at Max Time Out from 8 until 11 after the Friday night boat races. And Nate Sickmeyer and Company, 2 to 5. Whiskey Dixon, 7:30 to 11:30 at Fast Eddie's in Alton. City Heat playing the VFW on Friday night at 7. Where's Dave? He'll be out at Baker's and Hale. And Godfrey, that's the name of the band. Where's Dave? 7 to 11 at Baker's and Hale. Carl Mager doing the Grip and Sip Golf in Cottage Hill starting at 6. Wade Trent, 7 to 10 at Locke's Brick House in Bethalto. Southside Bluesy Boys down at the Moose in Wood River from 7 to 10. Matt Tall up in Jerseyville. He's going to be there a couple nights. I think he's up there tonight. Didn't I read that earlier?
I think so.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Matt Tall at George's Pub and Grill on Thursday, 7 to 9.
We got Rock the Block with Porch Cafe, 6 to 9. And I told you they're moving this around up in Jerseyville. So this Friday it'll be at the Water Tower in Jerseyville.
Which is I guess on one hand that's a neat idea because you get to go to different places to see that. But it seems like it would be now you got to keep up with where it is
right
every week.
Well, it's Jerseyville.
It's Jerseyville.
You'll
Yeah.
find
it's Jerseyville. Yeah.
Definitely find the Water Tower.
Just drive around once you'll find it. No, that's pretty cool. They're doing it at different places, and they got Porch Cafe 6 to 9 this evening. So
that's Friday evening.
Oh yeah, we moved on. Sorry, I'm distracted by Ed.
You are totally
I'm distracted by Ed, but he's on his way. He's
Okay.
in the car on his way here.
We'll see if he makes it.
That's what I said. I said, well, you know.
Also going on Friday night, the Fry Project from 7 to 11 at Grafton Pub. Carrie Lee, 7 to 10 at the Bloody Bucket Saloon. I left Bloody out of there.
That's just the buckets, yeah. I'm right, Chum Bucket Saloon now.
Dan Sproat, 3 to 7 at Aries in Grafton on Friday, and Rock Bottom. Where else? Deutz Village Inn in Pontoon Beach from 8:30 to 12:30, doing 2 nights, Friday and Saturday down there. Eric Lysop will be at the Pizza Joint, Pavillas in Granite City from 7 to 10 on Friday night. And let's see, the Southside Bluesy Boys back at it on Friday at 8 o'clock at Patty McDee's, Granite City. Toxic Johnny, 6 to 10 at Holiday Shores Marina Bar in Edwardsville and Harvest Drive. 9 o'clock at the Backstage, formerly the Back Bar, in Edwardsville. The Skylark Brothers, across the street. 7 o'clock at Sneaky's Burgers in Edwardsville. And I have to admit, I want to try Sneaky's Burgers. It's just a neat name. It's got me totally, intrigued.
So, I might be confused on it, but I think this is the place. Maybe. There's one of the places in Edwardsville. It used to be a different venue, and I think it turned into a food place. I think it's Sneaky's Burgers, but it's like a food truck. And so they're cooking all the food in a food truck, but they got a building now.
Yeah.
And I think that was, I'm going to have to get up there and check that one out, too.
So they're doing open mics with Butch Moore, so it's got to be a cool place. It's the old Reese's Brewery.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Sneaky's Burger was a food truck, and then they bought the old Reese's.
I think you're right.
Yeah, so...
also going on Friday night. Sorry about that. But
No, I'm just saying that's a heck of a jump for a food truck. Good for them. Now they got them a nice venue. They're having music, their own spot, and they're sneaky about it.
Yeah, that's the part I want to find out. What's sneaky about a burger?
What are they sneaking in those burgers? Keeps everybody coming back.
Merv Wimpy is trying to get an advance on a burger. He's the guy who taught me about credit.
Gladly pay you Tuesday.
Wimpy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Also going on Friday night, Lanny and Julie at Big Daddy's from 6 to 9. Griffin and the Gargoyles, haven't said their name in a while.
Yeah.
7 to 10 at the 1818 Chop House in Edwardsville. And you know what?
I would look that place up, too. And that is like a fine dining steakhouse.
You're just trying to find a good used car.
This is true. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say that's false. But I was commenting on, I was actually getting ready to go there, and I was, it's like, wow, I don't dress nice enough to get in this place. No, it is like it's a fine dining, fine steakhouse, but they got live music. You got to love that.
Yeah. Robert Perry Band doing the Stagger Inn on Friday from 5 to 8. Double wide duo out the cabin at Judy Creek in Glen Carbon from 7 to 11. Rogers and Dean House are listed at 7 o'clock on their website. I've seen it also on a old Herald post somewhere, and I've seen the band Bat on the old Herald website from 6:30 to 9:30. So I don't know if they're wrestling for it, or maybe there's 2 things going on at once. I don't know. That one confused me.
It's going to be like Thunderdome. 2 bands enter, 1 band leaves kind of thing.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
And, that's why sometimes, and I was actually thinking when I said Griffin and the Gargoyles earlier, sometimes the venue takes the old name of the guy that's booking the gig. It's like his band used to be called this, and that's what they write down. So, I mean, that's why some of this stuff is inaccurate.
Right.
I write down what the venue's right, I write down what the band's right, and I go, okay, it's up in the air. I mean, I've actually contacted some bands and said, hey, there's 2 bands booked on the same day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think it was Toxic Johnny I said this to recently about the old brewer, and he's like, I don't know, man, I'm booked down there on that night, so I don't know why they're posting whatever else. It was some kind of jazz thing going on the same night, so...
I mean,
hey, we've run into some weirdness down at Old Harold. I'm just saying.
Yeah. How much are the prices? Well, it could be $5 or $85.
Well,
it's a cool thing they got going on down there, and they do a lot of cool shows. And we do run into that. I say we. You're the one who makes this list and takes care of it. You run into that where you'll have 2 bands listed at the same place, and we have to go. We don't know which one it is.
And then sometimes I screw up and forget to change one of them, so I'm reading last week's gig.
It happens.
There's a lot of them.
That is a lot, and we don't have AI doing this for us. So human mistakes will be made.
Yeah. And, we appreciate all the bands that send us stuff, and we're trying to do our best to get the word out for people, and that's why we do this segment of the show. Normally, we just don't plow through a bunch of gigs, though. We talk to a guest.
And so I'm going to play the part of Ed. Well, you can ask me whatever you want, and I'll answer for Ed. Now, Ed might not like what I have to say.
Yeah, well...
None of this will be true, but...
You better be nice. He's on his way. I'm going to continue with the list instead.
I'll lock the door when he gets here if he's angry. No.
Yeah, I seen Lenny Mephisto almost put his fisto in your butthole. Just saying. Hey, Inner Outlines is playing at Pops on Friday night.
Oh, nice.
One of our very first guests of all time. Yeah. They're playing with Impression, City of Parks, and Uncanny Valley. 2 more to be announced.
All right.
That could be a name of a band. It could be 2 more bands to be announced. I think I would name my band TBA. Run Forest Run Band is playing down at Experience Live Music Row.
Okay, I am unfamiliar with them, but I'm a fan of the Gump.
And so I just wanted to bring them up because...
Run, Forest!
So we talked about it. Saturday night's the Mississippi River Festival.
The return.
In between the boats.
In between, and you got to give it to them. That's a pretty good strategy as fast as they put it together to pick the weekend where there's already 1,000 extra people around to draw from.
I've heard that, and I've also heard, the same thing about the talent show that's going on down at the Jacoby's. You could draw from all these boat racers, but I don't know. If I traveled somewhere to see boats, I think my mind would be on boats.
This is true.
This is true. Food, probably. So, I don't know.
Eat when you're hungry, sleep when you're tired.
Just
boat when you're unhappy. I don't know.
Just throwing that out there with the idea that you bring up. Yeah,
it is one of those things. One thing I don't know this about all boat people. I'm obviously putting a stereotype out there, but boat people seem to be drunk early, like by 2:00, 3:00. They've been on the boat all day drinking.
Yeah,
I've seen it at bars where boat people go.
Right. You can't blanket it like you're saying, but it's just an interesting thing to me and you because we put on lots and lots of shows over the years, and you never know when and you never know when this is going to work or backfire because all these boat people are really just in the way, and none of them actually come to your event. They just clog up the parking lot of the people. You don't know, or it could work out that you got an extra 200 people out of that. Well, the main thing is a chance to meet you, Pigpen, down Mississippi Riverfest. You'll be down there around 5:00.
Way to scare the crowd away.
All right. This here says it starts at 5. Mississippi Riverfest. So I wonder now.
Well, so I'm gonna look it up real quick. I thought the music started at 7.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe the gates open at 5.
And maybe that's what it is.
And so there's going to be people like piling out from the boat race and going in to Mississippi Riverfest. I know that much. Lake and Poe, Tyler Bryant, and the Shakedown, Fastball, and Feel at the Amphitheater. The Alton Talent Show starts at 11 a.m. at the Old Milton School, where they audition everybody, and then 3 to 5 finalists will be chosen, and they'll go down to do a show with super fun Rocketship, who is the only band to ever completely leap over Robert Wadlow. I seen it for myself.
And I was going to say that it's on video. You videoed it. You
I did.
Just watch it. You videoed it.
And then, even cooler, this may be the coolest event of all.
All right.
The after party.
Oh, yeah.
At the Conservatory with Shareholder, Hope and Therapy, Lofty's Comet, Olive, and Autumn Clock. 10:15 at the Conservatory. Yeah.
That's quite a lineup right there. So so here it is. I found it. The doors open at 5 p.m.
Okay.
According to the Rivers and Routes, which they said they were working with last week. So I looked there. According to this, doors open at 5. Concert starts at 6.
Okay.
Concert runs from 6 to 9. Now, if they're doing 4 bands from 6 to 9, that's a pretty tight turnaround.
We might have to move our appearance up to 4, Pigpen. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because I want to see Feel.
Yeah, me too.
That's actually the one band I want to see.
That's the band I want to see the most, actually. Yeah, I mean, not that they don't all sound great, but I really
we know them.
I really want to go check out Feel.
And how many times have we barked about no local bands down at the Amphitheater? So a chance to see one for a change.
Right.
Yeah, that's where I'm throwing the positive vibe.
Yeah, absolutely. So there it is. According to Rivers and Routes, doors at 5, show starts at 6. I can't see that being over at 9 though.
No.
That part doesn't seem right.
Well, the Conservatory is shooting for 10:15. That might be accurate. I don't know. 4 hours for all those bands?
That's only 3 though, 6 to 9.
Yeah, I know.
4 bands in 3 hours.
Larkin Poe, man, they got to play a couple hours, I think. Headliner.
I would think they'd be at least an hour and a half, at least 90 minutes. But again, I wish we would have asked all these questions last week.
We didn't ask a bunch of great questions.
No, we mainly just sat and talked about, I don't know, Bruce Springsteen, Joe Walsh.
That's all you remember. I was part of the segment, but yeah.
We had a great discussion about Joe Walsh. Anyway.
And quite honestly, we had a pretty good discussion about the Amphitheater because, that's been an ongoing subject on this show.
Yeah,
and
it has been.
It was neat. It was neat that Nick was planning for some of the stuff that always comes up about the Amphitheater.
Yeah. And
check that video out.
It not just MRF, but also the Mississippi Earth Tones has returned down there, which gets local bands in, and I'm ready to see the return of the big gig now.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
that was a good time.
Yeah, I think it's time.
Forgot all about the big gig.
Oh yeah, that was always a fun one because that's local bands playing the big gig, man.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Also, big gigs on Saturday night for Naked Soul, 2 to 6 at Whiskey Dixon, 7:30 at Fast Eddie's. Heartbreak Line going to be out at 3rd Chute and Alton. Money Shot out at Baker's and Hale and Godfrey on Saturday. Danny Kalaher and Champagne Fix, which he's in Champagne Fix. So he's going to play 2 to 6 acoustic and then 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. at the Pump House in Wood River.
Wow.
Mr. Kalaher is going to have a lot of food from the Pump House probably by the end of the night.
Man,
it's almost 12 hours. Big.
Oh yeah, that is a long. It's a long gig right there.
The Pine Saw Canyon Band, they'll be at Sparky's from 7 to 10 on Saturday, and Kevin Gruen up at George's Pub and Grill in Jerseyville. The Yacht Rockers at the Loading Dock 4 to 7. The Skylark Brothers are either playing 1 to 4 or 2 to 5 at Grafton Winery Vineyards. Skylark Brothers say 1 to 4. Grafton Winery Vineyards say 2 to 5. So once again, I had to double check that because I seen the invite from Mr. Jack Tweston, and I thought that's not a normal time slot for Grafton Winery, so I checked the calendar. Sure enough, different time. NGK, that's a band you must see from 2 to 6 at the Grafton Winery Brewhouse.
That's like an all-star band right there.
It is. Nephew is going to make an appearance on this show, and I'm looking forward to that. Now, Nephew is from East St. Louis, and you know how much we love to talk about the true history of rock and roll, and he has been part of that over the years.
Yeah,
he played with Chuck Berry.
He was there when it was going down.
Right, he's a bass player for NGK.
And we've talked about Nephew on this show several times, never had him on. glad you saw him. Glad you got that lined out, man.
Sometimes it takes that. You just got to go out and give the guy a hug.
Yeah.
Say, man, no, we really love you, man. Please come. Right. Also going on Saturday, Carl Mager from noon to 3, then Bob Gilda 3 to 7 at Aries Winery in Grafton. Matt Tall playing again on Saturday from 7 to 10 at the Bloody Bucket Saloon in Grafton. Also up in Grafton after midnight 2 to 6, exit 52 at 7 o'clock at Grafton Pub. And Hookie is going to be at the Oyster Bar in Grafton. What a great afternoon up there.
Oh, yeah, man.
How do you decide what to do this weekend?
It's tough. And I'll tell you, the Grafton Oyster Bar, if you like Cajun food, man, they got it going on.
You know what? If you don't like necessarily live music, but you like live entertainment, there's a nice variety. Look, there's a comedy show and a wrestling match. So, I mean, pretty much anything you like.
There's a lot going on.
The comedy show with the Wild E, Mr. William Lee Martin. Not familiar with him.
No.
7:30 at the Wild E, and then Cottage Hills Wrestling Alliance at the Legion in Edwardsville. So, Sarah Springman Shumaki playing at 9 a.m. Pigpen.
Right. Oh, wow. That's early gig.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
That's the Goshen Market in Edwardsville on Saturday. And Hollywood 5 starting at 9 o'clock at night at the Backstage in Edwardsville. Right. Pete Kreischock doing Big Daddies from 6 to 9. And Lanny Julie next door at the Foundry from 2 to 5 on Saturday. It looks like some folks have finally showed up, Pigpen. Now, let's hash this out.
What's up, fellas?
Let's hash this out, Special Ed. Now, who gave you the wrong time?
That's on me, bro.
Okay.
I thought it was 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And I was mistaken.
Okay.
So
that in the past, you've showed up at 7 when we do the pre-records.
That's probably why. And I didn't know we were going to be live.
Yeah.
We're live right now.
We are live.
We are, man.
Live.
Never been live on the radio before. Well, what's up, people?
I think you've been on live with us.
I don't think so. I was on the recorded shows for
Yeah, that might be true.
Jam, and I was on the recorded show for the David Zimmerman, and I was on the recorded for the Wood River Woodstock. So it's my fourth trip with you cats.
You've done such a good job on those shows. We've never had to edit anything you've said.
I can't believe that.
I know.
That's really good.
That's really good for me.
We didn't have to.
Oh, okay.
No, we did. No, I'm just kidding.
So go ahead, Pigpen, do a proper introduction to the Backyard Blues Band. Backyard Blues Band.
Yeah, but what I said earlier, Backwoods Blues Band. I don't know.
Backwoods. That ain't a bad name either.
There's actually a lot of bands that's got that throughout the United States. If you look, and there's quite a few.
What is it?
So a lot of bands are called the Backyard Blues Band, because when we created the Facebook page, everybody's like, we're having a hard time finding it because there's so many of them on there. And I'm like, I didn't realize that.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Yeah, no problem.
So
you know how to use a mic, Ed, on it, didn't you?
Been around a minute.
So the Backyard Blues Band is playing on the 6th down at the Roundhouse.
Right, it's a little auditorium, little concrete auditorium where Gabby used to do his free shows at.
And I earlier, because I'm
he did a terrible job.
I'm a numbskull. I said, it's right by the Wood River Pool. Well, I guess.
We tore that pool down 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So and then I said, by the old.
The Roundhouse.
Well, I was, we're just talking on the radio, and I forget I'm talking on the radio. I'm just talking. I'm like, like the old root beer stand. He's like, yeah, that's for sale. I'm like,
Charlie's.
I'm doing a horrible job telling people where this is at. So you tell us. What's the street right there that it's on?
Jimmy, what is? That's a good question. All I know is it's right there by Charlie's Drive-In, right by the Roundhouse.
Wood River Avenue, and then what's the street right after it? It's Whitelaw, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think it's Whitelaw.
And if it's not right, please, someone call the studio and correct us.
Yeah.
Somebody. So that is the voice of Ed, Special Ed.
Yeah, that's what I go by.
He proved how special he was.
Sometimes
at 6:30 tonight. No.
Late again. Fashionably though, fellas. Fashionably.
He goes, hey, I just got a phone call. We got to go. I said, we're on our way.
It started as the show was getting started that the old tumblers fell in place. I'm like, oh man, he thinks it's 7 o'clock.
I did.
And I hit you with that. Hey man, the show's like starting now.
I thought we were going to record. I didn't know we were going to be online, or I would have told my mass hordes of fans, I was going to be on the radio with you guys.
Yeah.
Ratings probably would have went through the roof.
That's all right. The vibrations are out there. People know it.
God knows.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, Ed, every time you're on, we share the video. All your friends find it.
Well, yeah, sometimes.
More than probably most of our guests. To be honest with you, you're up there in most videos.
Oh, well, that's good to know, man. That's cool.
Well, it doesn't hurt that you're such a nice guy that every time you've been here has been for a good cause.
Well, that's because that's what we should do in this life.
Right.
Yeah.
And before we say what your good cause is this week, or before we repeat it, let's say that Jimmy's next to you. Hi, Jimmy.
How you doing?
Welcome
Been about
back.
a year since we've seen each other.
Welcome back. Who's missing from the band?
Well, Danny Harrison, our drummer, he's the youngest member of the group. And then, we lost Peanut in September. And
That's sad.
Dave Scott's guitar player. And we got a new guitar player, a guy named Jim Rasp. He graduated at Roxana just like everybody else in the band,
Yep.
And
The old
tremendous guitar player, and him and Dave complement each other very, very well. And we're really excited to get out and start playing, man. We really are.
Well, this is going to be the first show with this lineup.
Yeah, yes, it will be.
And so I tried to put this out earlier, and again I mess it up. You were supposed to be here to do this.
I know. I'll take the blame for that.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to make myself look like I'm not as dumb as I am. But anyway,
Good luck.
Yeah. I'm too old to be this dumb, man. It's just a trick.
I think it's just a point where you get forgetful.
Right. So when we talked about this gig, what you're doing again. You've been in for all these benefits for other people. What you're doing this time is really a benefit for the city of Wood River, our city of Roxana, for anybody who wants to drive down to the Roundhouse. You have rented this stage out, and you guys are putting on the show
For an hour and a half.
for free.
Right.
It costs nothing. There's a nice field to come sit in
Bring your lawn chairs.
And bring your lawn chairs. Can you bring coolers down there?
I don't know if you can drink there. I know you can drink at Belk Park, but I don't know if you can drink there or not.
I don't believe you can.
Jimmy,
but I mean,
Jimmy doesn't think you can. I know you couldn't when there was a swimming pool
and everything else.
Look,
but we wanted this is more of a family orientated show, and and that's what we said. A lot of people can't afford to go to the Ozarks and go places, and it gives something for people to do
and
look forward to. Right.
And see the show.
That is why I said you're once again here for a good cause, because this time the cause is. It's 4th of July. Not everybody can afford to take a trip. Not everybody can afford to do. Here's a great chance. You're having your backyard barbecue. You're planning a barbecue. Guess what? Grab some sodas.
Just come on over
and sit down for an hour and a half. You have free entertainment there in the middle of the city.
Oh, and it's going to be entertaining.
Oh yeah.
I'm wearing nothing but a chartreuse thong, gym shoes, and a straw hat.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's wearing one sock.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it. We're not telling you where he's placing it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be quite like Flea did at Woodstock, but
Wait, hey man, you shouldn't wear your sock on that ear, bro.
Yeah.
That's the wrong ear.
Right. Yeah, oh my goodness. No, but we got a lot of good music, and I went back to playing bass, and I'm enjoying it. And like I said, we got another guitarist now, so we all complement each other very well, and it lets me and Danny, that drummer, that kid is really good, and those two guitarists are fantastic, and it lets us just kind of go do our own thing. And that, us on being on the low end, that kid is just right with me all the time. Young man, I should say.
And the bass and drums got to lock in together. That's the rhythm section. And you kind of said, "Oh, I'm back to playing bass." Everybody makes fun of bass players just like we make fun of drummers.
Oh yeah.
Or guitar players that need the spotlight.
Guitar players are the worst.
Here's the thing, man. Like one of the jokes is, the bass player is just always the worst guitar player in the band. Yeah, I mean, everyone's heard that joke. So here's the thing that I will say though, bass is where it's at. That's where the structure of the song is. All the butts are really swinging to the bass guitar out there.
So I say I play my mandolin, I play my six string or anything. That bass is just something about it, and it takes a certain act just to even play the thing. I mean, it's a whole different monster.
And it is, like I say, that's the glue, sort of, that's holding the rest of the melody lines together, man. That's where the song is.
I always say Jimmy and Danny are the motor, and me and Dave and Jim Rasp are the transmission. Just keep going right along, man.
Right.
They power it, man. They power it.
Well,
The bass work and the drumming work is just everything in our band has kind of gone up a little bit since we lost Peen. So I'm sure he had something to do with it.
well, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he helped in his own way, use his energy to propel it forward.
Yep. That's why we kept everything together, Pigpen, because that's what Robbie would have wanted.
And hey, that's kind of what you do. You I'm sure you're feeling a lot. There's a lot of simpatico across the way here because.
Oh yeah. I remember the day Butch said, if I ever pass away, and he'd always tell us, I'm going to be gone before I'm 30. And of course, we just like, whatever.
Sure, I thought I was going to be gone before I was 18.
Right,
we
right.
all thought that when we were young, right?
He said, you guys better never stop. And those words echoed for years and years and years after. So, I totally get it.
Well,
I get it.
This, you came out and it was a little somber because it was just a few days before Nina passed away that we had to get up there, switch everything around, and we just all wasn't really into even playing.
Right.
It was just,
We
It's
were
tough.
thinking about not even doing that,
Yeah.
Roxanne, but Kenny's our buddy.
Right.
Kenny stuck with us.
And Peanut would have wanted you to
Oh
go through
yeah,
it too.
he loved that. That was his whole Roxanne Rock and Roll Union.
Oh,
Right.
That's
Right.
coming up again.
I was going to
I
have
told
you
Kenny
guys
I'd
play
drop a note in there. Don't forget about that,
everybody.
fellas.
That's the 28th.
Yeah, September. It's going to be a
Yes.
great time again.
And you
Squeeze
guys-
Box is going to be there. Cabin
BC
Fever,
Homegrown.
BC. They're all. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, wow.
man.
That's going to be great.
That's going to be a good one,
And
man.
last I seen, you guys are headlining that one.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
I
Watch
think it's
out.
so we can get our equipment out of there when it's all done.
Well, and plus I could actually get my LED lights out because
We got
that time of
lights
year.
now
It's
and
darker than
everything.
heck at night, and trying to
That's
tear
right.
that equipment down. I'm like,
Yeah.
I said, we ain't doing this one
But
again.
yeah, I think it's so we can get the equipment out of there real quick when it's over with. It's not because we're the best band there, that's for sure.
Well, you're
See,
the
I was-
alumni. This
Yeah,
is
that's
this is
true.
it's the rock and roll.
Everybody,
The Roxana Rock and Roll reunion, and everyone in your band is a Roxana.
Well, and Danny, his mother went to high
member
school
of
with
our
us.
class.
Yeah, member of our class.
Wow.
And Jim
Yeah.
Rass is just one class above us.
He's
So
just a year
we all
older.
went to high school together.
We all-
right? Yes.
Yeah.
So everything all comes back around when
So-
it's a small world, man.
They had high school back then?
What's that?
They had high school? It was like a one-room school you guys were in?
No, I wasn't a one-room school. Man.
No, but we were still allowed to go outside.
Yeah, we were still allowed to go outside across the street from school.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody remembers the old Shell Shack.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Shell Shack.
Oh,
yeah.
goodness gracious.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
So-
was long before the cone barn even.
So everyone in your band except Danny was in high school at Roxanne at the same time, and Danny's mom went to high school with you. So
Right.
Danny, cover yours. Which one of Danny you got? Like, does he resemble anyone in the band?
No, not at all.
No, but
Just
he
saying you went to high school with his mom.
A very good drummer from Leonard Skinner, their second drummer, Artemis Pyle. And I always call him. He's
he looks-
Artemis, and the way he bangs them drums reminds me of Artemis Pyle.
The way that he
just
survived
like me,
the plane crash and then got shot and still he's
Right.
It's all the same.
Toughest drummer ever.
Yeah.
And Danny's got the great big long red beard and the big handlebar mustache. And I'll look over there and we'll be jamming. You look over and he's got those eyes closed. And he's got that big grin on his face.
Got the
Now,
Kenny,
people say they enjoy watching him
He's
play.
a
That's,
pleasure.
yeah.
he's got
watch
the,
him, it's effortless.
he's watched Kenny McPeak then, because that's exactly what
yeah.
he
And
reminds me of.
Kenny's son Chase, what a good drummer Chase is.
Right, yeah.
They're
And that's the rest of the rock and roll reunion for Roxanne. Every band down there has at least one
member of Roxanne in.
Yeah.
Roxanne.
Exactly.
That's always been kind of a requirement, but you know what? There's always enough people and there's enough bands to pull this off.
Right.
And it's always Kenny's always put on a good time every time. Even before I had a band, even before we played music, you always had a great time up there. See people you haven't seen 10, 15, 20 years. Maybe somebody you haven't seen even since you graduated high school.
Right.
It could be 35 years old. Hey man, I've seen you. Say, hey, what's going on? It's just like you've seen each other, at high school the day before.
Well, that's why
it's awesome.
It's a good name, and not every, and it just you don't have to be a member of Roxana to go to this. Anybody can
Right.
go to this.
Yep.
I mean, yes, it's
Just
for
like
everybody.
anybody can come down there July the 6th when we're going to be
Right.
rocking Woodward down there at the new recreation center at the old Roundhouse.
I was trying to get to tell him that there's a brand new building there, Pigman. If you drove down that road, you'd be like, I'm lost.
Yeah.
From all the things you said earlier about looking for the pool and all that,
Oh, yeah.
there's a nice giant building down there now, and
About
Yeah.
$15 million complex they
Yeah,
put down there.
yeah.
You ought to see it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it
really
is.
I
It's
haven't even
nice.
been down there for
It's
a while.
really nice. It's really nice.
Nice. What is the complex?
It's a recreational complex. It's got basketball courts on the inside. There's weight
Okay.
room. There's an indoor jogging track. It's really
Wow.
It's
Well,
really
it's good.
It's state of the art. It's really nice.
It's good to see good
Really
taxpayers'
nice.
money going to a good
Yeah,
thing.
they were gonna do another swimming pool, but I guess they decided not to.
Yeah.
Look, all they really needed was the high dive for us to all sit around and wait for the chicks to knock their tops off. I mean,
Oh yeah. Yes.
That was a good high dive. That I like that because they had their own high. They had its own
Had its
pool.
own pool, yeah,
Their diving
yeah.
pool had its own pool. That was really cool.
That's a my mix thing, right?
Yeah.
They say that on my mix. Yeah.
Yeah. Little
Well, you
shout
know,
out to the old Wood River pool.
the pool would still be open, but Pigpen threw a baby Ruth in it.
Imagine that.
Cannonball,
Yeah.
cannonball coming.
Now who's well? It's nothing. Bites into it. Oh Murray, that was a good. That's
Yeah.
a classic.
Yep, sure is.
How'd you like to make $14 the hard way?
Yeah.
I bet you're really something before electricity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man!
Wow.
Anybody who's never seen Caddyshack is like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These,
Yeah.
Well,
Anybody who's not seen
needs
Caddyshack
to see it.
hasn't lived.
Yeah.
Or has never seen a golf match.
Exactly.
Because that's just
Like-
the funniest golf movie, maybe the funniest sports movie ever.
It may be.
Well,
Mind-
and
mind
the
if I play through?
Where Chevy Chase and,
Yeah,
and
that's
Bill Murray
good.
never really got along, and they ad-libbed almost that whole thing with when they're passing the thing around and the what was it?
Get on your feet here to Ghost there.
Yeah.
Cinderella story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Assistant greasekeeper, soon to be the Masters champion. Looks like he's got about 5 of them. It's in a hole.
Oh man, Bill Murray at his
What a-
second best. I can't say I like it better than his Hunter Thompson. So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good when he played Hunter Thompson. That was good.
Yeah.
And Chevy Chase is his second best because he played drums for Steely Dan to, you know.
Right.
I'm a big Ted Knight fan.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
I agree with that about that.
Actually,
Yeah, Ted Knight was good.
Mike Dreeth, his family used to own WBGZ years ago, but he was also like our in charge of the radio program at WLCA. And my very first newscast I ever turned into him at college for news, he's like, well, sounds like you're doing a Ted Knight here. And I'm like, well, I was. He's like, well, Ted Knight's making fun of the news. I'm like, yeah, me too. He's like, but it's a news class. I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to be entertaining.
Maybe you'd like to come over, cut the lawn, have a Dr. Pepper.
And, you know, we got to mention Rodney too. Of course, Rodney.
Oh yeah.
What a great movie. And I
He's
guess
got marks where the Chucky was hitting it.
so. I guess you're going to play some blues for the 4th of July.
We'll be playing We'll be playing some new songs. We'll be doing some Marshall Tucker that we've been working on. We'll be doing Whip and Post by the Allman Brothers. We've been working on.
Nice.
We'll be doing basically Leonard Skinner, Marshall Tucker, Allman Brothers, Bob Seger,
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll. We're doing a Jelly Roll song.
Kind of turned that we made it more of our version. It's it's acoustic what he does it. We've added the rock and roll flavor to it.
Yeah, we
Nice,
put
yeah.
electric guitar to it. We put drums to it.
And bass,
And bass. And yeah, it sounds pretty good. All we got to do now is find somebody that could sing that mother. Oh. Almost.
Watch your mouth.
Almost, Pigpen.
Shut
Almost.
your mouth.
Almost.
No, the great thing is too, you're gonna be doing all this blues in basically Roxana's backyard, which is Wood River.
Yep.
Right.
So it's the backyard blues band.
Right.
Yeah. Wood River is Roxana's back.
And we are on Facebook now. I'm just trying to learn that and how to get this stuff promoted and everything else. But we are on Facebook.
We're still
Yeah.
learning how to do
yeah.
all this.
Got your own group on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, fine.
I'm not even on Facebook.
Well,
I don't even.
you are on there.
I don't
I've
know.
seen you in the picture
Oh,
in the
pictures.
back
Yeah,
of the bus.
Yeah, I'm in there, man. I'm in there.
And we're close enough friends, just like we were fashionably late today. I said, Eddie, let me do the bookwork for now.
Yeah.
Because we kind of had a mishap and had one of our friends kind of mad at us. I'm not mentioning nothing, but yeah.
I'll
we just
mention
kinda-
it. Donnie Odell's mad at us.
Yeah.
But that's okay because I'll make it up to you, Donnie. I promise, bro.
Yeah, we all will. We'll
promise,
figure something
Donnie.
out for you. Yeah.
Come on, Donnie, I'll make you feel good.
Yeah,
Well, we
Donnie,
had to
we'll take
cancel
care.
on him, and
Yeah.
he wasn't very happy.
Where's that?
He was having a gig at his farm, and we got the dates mixed up. And I gave him my
Yeah.
word that we would be there, and unfortunately somebody had something else scheduled and we couldn't make it. So it's kind of on me. So I take the responsibility.
It happens.
It does.
Well,
I'm
I
human.
The man forgives us. I mean, I
He'll
reached out
forgive
to him
us.
and told him I was sorry.
O'Dell.
Hey, we're not
He'll
perfect.
forgive us.
Yeah, and he is a good guy. So
He's a great guy. I
He's
love you,
let us play
Donnie.
quite a bit up at his
Forgive
bar.
us,
We had a good
Donnie.
time up there.
We love playing at Red's, Donnie.
I
Please
was going to
forgive me.
say, I was going to try to tie that in because I've seen you guys playing up at Red's
Yeah.
Tavern a few times now.
Oh yeah, we played up. He's one of the few bar owners that's given us a shot. He's been really, really good to us, and that's why I was really disappointed when I found out that we couldn't play this gig for him. Man, I was really, really disappointed because he's been so good to us.
He was so bummed he wouldn't call him, so I
Very
had to call him.
good, very
bring him
good
back.
to us. I told him, I said, somebody else is going to call my friend Donnie and tell him I'm not.
And nobody else was, so I'm the one stuck doing it. But,
Well, Donnie, wherever you are out there, mistakes get made by everybody. Just remember, people are not only hell; they're heaven too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got to forget. And we will give Red Tavern a shout out.
Yeah.
If you'll just forgive our friend.
Yes.
Special Ed.
I sat with him
Special. Remember, he's special.
at the Headstrong benefit.
He's a good guy. Ain't
Yeah. Good
Yep.
good buddies with
Good guy. He was real good friends with Dave,
Dave.
and Stephanie.
Yeah.
Still is good friends with
Right.
Stephanie.
And the bartender was there.
Amazing people.
Yeah.
Amazing people. People of Bunker Hill, every time we go up there and play, we have a blast. There's guys that show up on horseback. There's people that show up in a
Nice.
covered wagon.
Nice.
We have such a good time. The people up there are amazing. We have a blast when we go up there. So, Donnie, forgive me. Damn it.
I'm going to go ahead and speak for Donnie and say you're forgiven.
All
all right, thank you.
Thank you, Donnie.
Right now, Donnie's like, wait, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We can do whatever we want. We're on the radio.
And then me and him's been going over to Soulard a couple Sundays, and I've had a really good time over there. There is some
Hammerstones, man.
good St. Louis musicians, and
Get a
they're sitting
chance,
in
man.
open jams over there at Hammerstones. And
Yeah, and there's another one that I've been doing at
Charlac.
the St. Louis Blues Museum.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
nice.
I had
Oh
fun
man,
getting over
on
there.
Thursday night. Tonight I was going to go tonight, but man, I'd much rather be here with you cats promoting this gig.
Is Brad Hampton still?
Yeah,
Brad's still around.
Nice,
Yeah,
man.
Brad's active. As a matter of fact, the last time I told him, last time I talked to him, I think he said he was playing like 3 or 4 nights a week.
Yeah.
He's like,
Good for him, man.
Look, he's a tremendous drummer, man. I mean,
He's
And a
really
tremendous
good
person.
real
He-
good
he's
person.
Just a good guy.
Very good person.
So-
I don't think that I've met a bad person since I've been jamming. I'm starting playing the Martins thing, and thanks to Kenny, so many bands have formed out of the Martins
Yep. Yeah.
open
Yeah,
jam
they have,
session.
yeah.
I mean, like 2 or 3 bands formed out of that. Just guys
Nice.
getting together, and Kenny McPeak.
Just facilitating it
Always
all. Yeah.
facilitating something.
Yeah, so the consummate performer and what a nice guy he
Yeah,
is. Again,
I don't know if you
nice
heard
people.
about him, man, but he had an accident and his foot's crushed.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah, but he's getting better now. Shout out to Kenny. Hope you feel better, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I did not hear about.
Yeah, and it's
that.
his hi-hat foot too. So, but he's still playing.
Yeah, he,
Better
he,
than
he
the
went
bass.
out Def Leppard, did,
Yeah.
and
He's still playing. He's out Def Leppard. Oh,
he went
yeah.
out to Def Leppard, didn't he? He's doing it, man.
He's doing it,
That's
man.
hilarious.
Yeah.
You got to give it to the cat, man. He's laying it down.
Yeah, and like the whole Def Leppard thing. When that was a Hysteria album. I think I went to see that just because I got to see this one-armed drummer.
I'll tell you.
And it was an amazing thing to see the guy pull it off. It was
Man.
like,
Well,
wow.
and most bands would say, "Well, he's out; he can't do it anymore."
Right.
You know what? You don't do that to brothers. You know what? You give him a chance. If he wants to try it one-handed, let him do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell you what. We saw a one-armed drummer last Sunday at Soulard. His name's Riley. He plays in the John McVeigh Blues Band. This cat plays the drums with one hand and plays the keyboards and piano with the other.
Yeah, it's amazing.
His tom is a keyboard stand. He don't even use his tom anymore.
Yeah.
And he is phenomenal. And the nicest guy. Walk up, talk to him. He's so talented. And
And when you see somebody in that situation, especially, so I had Chicago Farmer and the Field Notes play, and the rhythm section, the drummer and the bass player, also in Bones, Jugs, and Harmony. So they know each other real well. They're comfortable playing together. But the drummer, he'll be playing drums, and with one hand he'll just pick up. There's a keyboard over on side of him, or he'll pick up a trumpet, and he'll be playing drums and trumpet.
Heard about that guy.
At one point, he's just playing drums with his feet and playing the mandolin, but he's smiling the whole time and acting like none of this is happening. He doesn't look like he's concerned with it. It looks like he's thinking about a puppy running across the field.
That's the way Ryan plays too, man.
And you're like,
Same way.
how is your brain? And, he's singing backing vocals, playing a keyboard and drums. And you're like, man, how? I can barely chew bubble gum and walk without falling over. And when they do it with that look, like it just like they're not even trying. You're like,
like Geddy Lee. I mean,
effortless, just effortless.
Geddy Lee, bass pedals and playing keyboards and. And then Kane and West.
And putting up with Neil Peart the whole time. It's like, that takes a lot. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sure there's Kane and West fans out there, nothing against him. But this guy says he's a musician. I'm saying, no, take a look. These guys are musicians. Now, when they're playing several instruments and multi-instruments.
Same time, it's incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah, seeing him do that, my mind just went, poof.
So real quick to jump back to what we're doing here, talking about multiple things. The Roundhouse gig coming up on the 6th. Touch back on that real quick. Make sure I didn't mess it up. You rented that place for $35.
Yep, I was gonna rent the whole Roundhouse, and that way, if it was too hot, we'd just pull everybody inside. But we figured, we'll just go ahead and keep it outside. The sun will be going down, and it's kind of a shaded area. And bring the lawn chairs, kick back.
Eddie, even live, if we had to, if it's too hot, if we chipped in more, we could do the Roundhouse.
I know we could.
We'll have to see what the weather says.
You got a minute to figure that one out. Right. I've watched the weather before you throw the extra money out. But
no, because I like playing outdoors anyway.
$35 to rent that. So listen up, man. Anybody wanting to. You've got a band that says, I can't even get a gig nowhere. For $35, you got your own gig. Make it happen.
That's what we're doing.
It happen.
It's pretty much a community thing.
Yeah.
And getting a self-promotion, a selfless promotion too.
Yeah. But I love the way that you're just doing a free 4th of July party for the community, for anybody who can't go to Lake of the Ozarks.
I don't have nothing else to do.
Other than decorate time with music.
That's it. I don't have nothing else to do.
Well, we got a couple other things in the making for 2025, and I'll get back with you guys on that, because I got some really interesting stuff that's going to be coming out.
Yeah, we're trying to get a thing going at the Moose for an Oktoberfest, get some bands out there on a flatbed to play.
And then we got a benefit for a buddy that lost his life in a car wreck, and his dad played music with all the boys from over there for the El Monstero group and all that. So we're going to try to get something going for that. We're going to have a benefit for him next year. But that's something we can talk at a later date.
But in addition to the 6th, you've got something. What else did you say was coming up?
Roxana Rock and Roll.
Roxana Rock and Roll. Oh, there you go. That is September 28th. That's at Belk Park?
Yes,
It's always been at Belk Park as far as I know. So there you go.
I played that one a long time ago.
A lot of fun, wasn't it?
It was the little building that's right there.
Yeah, that little
has a couple picnic tables in it or
now
something.
Now we play outside the building.
Yeah.
We set up outside the building and play. I guess it would be to the east, toward the golf course.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's been a lot of fun, man. Kenny always manages to put on a good show.
But the old days, even when we started, I remember, because all the equipment and everything drawed so much more power, we'd have to actually get into the box and go for the 220. To keep everything powered up. If not, it'd be blowing breakers left and right. Now everything's powered speakers, and you don't draw that much power. And luckily, we're not blowing breakers like we used to. It was a mess.
The first time we used all of our equipment out there, we were tripping breakers.
Lean on in a little bit so we can hear you. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, man.
That's all right. I couldn't hear you when you turned. I'm like, I got headphones on. I
know.
Talking.
You're used to having something this big and black in your face, and I'm not.
You've been seeing my movies.
I have.
You better scrub your browser, son.
Unbelievable.
You better scrub that browser.
You better scrub something. It ain't no browser, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You think it's clean. It's not.
Okay, this went south real quick.
Yeah, you brought it here. You can't wash off this kind of thing.
I always have such a good time when I come up here with you two guys, man. This is only your second time. You're an amateur. This is my fourth. What are you talking about?
You're an amateur.
You got to get up here a couple more times.
You know what? Hey, I think you're doing great. I think you're doing great. You want to make a movie with me after that? No.
Oh, man.
You want in the inner circle?
I guess I'll be the gimp.
Someone's got to be the pivot man.
Somebody's got to be the gimp.
Oh, man. So that's the voice of Jimmy.
JJ, Jimmy James.
Jimmy James and Special Ed. They are with the Backyard Blues Band and doing a free show down at what's known as the Roundhouse.
Roundhouse Park.
Yep.
What time's that starting?
7 o'clock to 8:30.
There
we
you
might
go.
play a little bit longer than 8:30 if everything goes well.
So if you're in that area, Roxana, Wood River, Alton, Bethalto, it doesn't matter if you're anywhere
come
around
on
there.
by.
You're having
Yes.
a barbecue in your backyard. Everyone's got their burgers or their dogs or brats or whatever in them, and you're like, man, we need some entertainment.
Come
It's
on
real
by.
easy.
We'll be
Just
putting it
jump in
down.
the car. Jump in the car. You go down there for an hour and a half, 7 to 8:30.
Yes, sir.
And that is absolutely free to anyone who just
Yep.
shows
Anybody
up.
that wants to show up, anybody wants to come down and listen, come on down. And we got a buddy of ours, John Brown. He's going to come down and sing a song with us too. So come on down and enjoy yourselves, people. It'll be a good time.
Downtown Johnny Brown.
Downtown John Brown, Big John Brown, our buddy.
Remember the 90s, there was
Girl
two
for
Julie
y'all.
Browns. What a confusing time that was.
Downtown Julie Brown.
Anyway,
She was the one that dated Billy Idol, wasn't she?
who didn't date Billy Idol?
Jimmy.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jimmy dated Billy Idol.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let him.
I remember,
Even
wasn't
after I
ready-
told him
I
we have
wasn't
to see
ready
other
for a white
people, I
wedding,
told him,
so-
yeah, he wasn't ready for a white wedding.
remember the Sam Kinison video of Wild Thing that had like 1 million people in it? It had like all the stars of the day in the video. I saw
I had Tawny Katane in it.
again, she dated everybody. So I saw a little interview where they were talking about the making of that, and everybody that was there hated Billy Idol. They said he showed up cussing at people and spitting at me
It's
like.
almost like what happened to like Nickelback. I mean, everybody, you hear the word Nickelback. And
Everybody, I hate
yeah,
Nickelback. I think
everybody
that
just-
started as a bad rumor, and
I
everyone
did.
took it serious.
I know.
'Cause
There's
those
nothing
guys
really
aren't
wrong with
that
it. No,
bad.
guy's a good singer,
They're
and
good
the
singer.
music's good.
Yeah, there's nothing really wrong with
Like I said,
Nickelback.
I'm not throwing him under the bus.
I wouldn't
I'm like, yeah, there's
sound-
always personal jokes about Nickelback.
He sings
yeah.
better than I do.
It was almost like when Beavis and Butthead, what was that little blonde-headed kid that had winger shirts on? You know?
Oh, yeah.
Kip Winger.
Winger, yeah.
So here's the thing about it. Something tells me I don't know you that good, Jimmy, but something tells me that you're gonna be there'll be some simpatico here that we're liking this. I will make jokes about bands. I made a joke about Neil Peart earlier and Geddy Lee having to put up with him. Neil Peart's an awesome drummer, an awesome songwriter.
Right.
Writes the lyrics.
Peart.
Peart. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of my shampoo, Peart.
Yeah.
And,
No, that's yeah, that is.
I don't need none of that.
but anytime I make a joke about any musician, it's never because I think I can do the job better. It's because I'm trying to make somebody laugh.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
never because I think I can play or sing or write songs better. No, it's we're just having a good time.
Yeah.
And so we can make fun of Nickelback. we can make fun of a quarterback.
Well, do you remember that my first interview when we were talking and I said Bob Dylan was the worst harmonica player I ever heard?
Yeah,
Do you know how much I caught a lot of slack for that? What do you mean? I go, listen to him.
So
Yeah.
Bob, here's
Good
the
Lord, he's horrible. He's horrific.
Here's the funny thing: what he was fabulous at in his younger days, and what he was down to the last few times I saw him was playing piano. In the beginning, he was a Elton Gunn, the piano player,
Great
Yeah,
piano
he
player.
was.
and he was an amazing piano player.
Just a talented person. I mean, to play the harmonica,
just-
guitar, and sing all at the same
Yeah.
time, that's not easy to do.
No, and I've seen him live many times, and he has a fabulous band. And
what I
he's
was
got
saying.
he's got one of these styles that sure some of his songs are 2 and 3 chord go arounds. Don't we all have songs like that?
Oh, yeah.
But
But
he's
listen
got,
to the lyrics.
and not only that, he's got some songs that musically are like, oh wow, he's actually using modes, and he's actually possibly changing keys there. I mean, he does. John Prine can do the same thing, Timmy,
Oh, yeah.
where there's a lot of
Yeah.
3 chord go arounds, but again, the lyrics, and he sells the song. That they're songwriters is what they are, and nobody's wrote more than Bobby. So there you go.
No, he
I
puts on a
don't
good show.
remember you saying that, but
Yeah, it was the
but
first.
that's
It was the
just
first show we did. Me and Peanut were here, and I said, "Oh, Bob Dylan was a terrible harmonica. Great musician, great lyricist, but terrible harmonica.
Nobody's paying to see Steven Tyler play the harmonica. We're paying to
No.
see you sing,
That's
Steven.
because Steven Tyler's a singer who tries to play harmonica, not a harmonica player who tries to sing."
And I'm a jackass who
I
tries to
remember-
do it all.
I remember tons of jokes about how bad Bob Dylan sings.
Oh, yeah.
In the
Oh,
70s
yeah.
on television.
There
He
was
got
a...
moved off the stage at the Newport Jazz Festival.
So check this out. He went electric and he hired the band to be his backup band,
Right.
and they got booed off stage. Not just at Newport, they got booed off stage every night after night, to the point that Levon Helms quit the band. Levon Helms, the heart and soul of the band,
Oh, yes.
quit the band and went down to
didn't
New
know that.
Orleans. They had to have another drummer finish the tour. He said, "I know you're paying me, Bob. I don't like getting booed off stage every night." Here's what happens next, though, and I got my own theory on this. What happens next is that Dylan's contract, or that the band's contract is up. They say, "Look, we want Levon back more than we want to play with you, Bob."
Well, it was a good
Levon's the
move,
heart.
'cause-
So they bought a house called Big Pink up in Woodstock, New York, and they decided to use all their Bob Dylan touring money to get Levon back and just concentrate on writing music. Forget tour. We got money for the first
Right,
time, right?
right.
For the first time in a while, we got like extra money. Oddly enough, Bob Dylan is in a bunch of contracts. He's Bob Dylan. He's got albums, tours, all this. He gets in a motorcycle wreck, just bad enough to get him out of his contracts.
Oh.
Doesn't hurt him too bad, but it's just bad enough. And he buys a house right down the road from the band. And while they're working, he would show up every day and be like, "Hey guys, I got a song for you. Help me put this song together." And that's how the basement tapes came about. Like
Nice.
all the basement tapes, just Bob kind of stalking the band. I think he spilled the motorcycle purposely to get out of the contracts.
A lot of those bands moved up to the Woodstock area. I know Paul Butterfield, he moved up there to that area.
And this was
He died up there. As a matter of fact.
Paul Butterfield Blues Band,
What a-
man.
what a
Yeah.
tremendous harmonic.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a real good band.
And
That
but
guy was just off the chain.
that's a little Dylan history there. That they got booed off stage that whole tour. Every show on that tour, they got
that'd be
booed off
hard
stage.
to do. Is just keep going.
And Bob says he don't care. I'm still going to pay you. Just play like you mean it. Play it like you mean it. And we get booed off. But, you know.
I seen them at the Fabulous Fox, and you watch them live, and it's totally different than listening to them on a record. I mean, you really appreciate them when you're watching them.
Yeah, the band is one of my all-time favorites.
Yes.
The Dead, the band, Little Feat. These are the guys who tickle my fancy. Hit me in my creamy center, we'll say.
Right. Yeah.
So there you go. Hey guys, again, rock and roll reunion, Roxana rock and roll reunion. That's the 4 R's.
Yeah.
That's September 28th. Kenny McPeak's been running that
Yeah.
since the beginning of time itself.
And that's going to run from noon till probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock. That's usually an all-day event. And
All day event.
yeah, everybody's got about 45 minutes with 15 minutes in between each set, and keeps
Yeah.
it going.
Just enough time to make that switch over as
Right.
quick as we can and keep it going. I like that. And then 6th of July, 4th of July weekend, the Roundhouse down in Wood River. Free show to anybody who wants to show up. And I got to put this out there to all the musicians. My buddy Ed here rented that stage for $35. That comes with electricity.
Yes, it does.
So you're
That's a heck of a
basically paying. Dennis said at the beginning of the show when I brought this up, he said, "I'm going to go rent it and just plug an air conditioner in and sit in front of it."
Might as well. It'd be cheaper.
Yeah, right.
Get your little get your garbage bag.
Maybe put a tent over you.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
If you do that, I'll come down there and stay.
Right?
That would be hilarious.
Well, hey, Bruce Dickinson, when I seen Iron Maiden a few years back, they couldn't believe how hot it was. I'm like, you guys ever been to St. Louis in July? And
Yeah.
they're playing, it's still the Riverport Amphitheater. I mean, it's got 1,000 different names, but everybody still knows it as Riverport.
Riverport. You call it what you want, but it's Riverport.
But he actually was running around in an air-conditioned suit. I mean, they had a special suit made for this guy.
Wow.
Because he is so energetic anyway. That guy runs everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 67 years old now, and he's still in top. But you know what? Those guys, they don't go to the bars and stuff. I read, they play golf, they play tennis, they stay active.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
So look, if you want a life at debauchery like Ozzy had,
Yeah.
you're going to end up walking in circles going, Sharon, Sharon.
Yeah.
And you can't remember your lyrics even though there's a teleprompter. And guess what? Ozzy's awesome. Who else gets to urinate in an elevator and nobody cares? It's like it's Ozzy.
That always amazes me. Yeah, you can't hardly understand.
I can get away
what
with
he's
it. I'm
talking about,
special.
but-
Right.
Yeah, he starts singing, and you just can't believe he can sing. And then you listen to him talk, and you're like, man, he's only
the
running on
marbles out of your
about
mouth.
five Browning cells left, and that's about it.
You know what? I saw Tom Petty and the Wildflowers Mayflowers play over there in the middle of the summer at the Riverport, we'll call it. And Campbell, the guitar player, he went down. He passed out.
Oh,
now
boy.
they're wearing like velvet suits, like, you know, I mean, they're decked out. They're showmen, and it's 110 degrees. And he went down. They took him backstage. They took his big velour coat off of him, gave him some ice water, whatever it was, you know, and they brought him back out, and he finished the show at the, and this wasn't that many years ago, maybe 10 years. I mean, it's been a few years ago, but those guys were pretty old at the time.
Oh, absolutely.
The very next night, a really young band called the Kings of Leon
I've heard of them.
canceled. They're like in their 30s. They canceled their show because they said pigeons were pooping on them, on their drummer. Now let me tell you something that's never lived in the rafters of Riverport: a pigeon. Otherwise, they'd poop on every band, and nobody would play it. Those kids quit because they couldn't take the heat. But the night before, some guys in their 60s did it in velour suits.
That cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Like Eric Clapton said, cocaine. Oh man!
Yeah.
Hey, all right. Hey, thanks for coming down. Even though it was only a halftime entrance, you came in right after Paula Abdul had a malfunction of a
Really?
wardrobe. No, I don't.
That's
It
too
was
bad.
me. It was actually Batch had a wardrobe malfunction.
we was thinking 7, and our apologies again.
No, I realized that as the last minutes were ticking down and you weren't here, I'm like, we might be running late, I sent him a thing earlier, but I didn't say make it 6 because I didn't realize that you've only been on at 7.
7's the only time I've ever been on.
Yeah, well, that, welcome to the...
Fourth time's a charm.
Welcome.
I'm finally live. Hello, people.
You've been dead every other time,
I
sir.
love it.
No, you finally made it to the big show.
I made it to the big time. I've been trying to get you guys to give me my own frickin' show up here.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get Dennis to replace you, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
But he won't do it.
Since the first time.
No, he will. He will. Keep working on it.
I'll keep working on it.
He's whittling down,
Eventually.
I can tell.
He's whittling.
Every time he just kind of like gives me that look like, are you serious?
Ed's getting better.
Oh, you the same thing.
Ed's getting better, Pigpen. Ed's getting better. You know?
It's getting better all the time. Better. All right, hey guys, thanks for coming down.
What's your day job?
Believe me, I don't even have a day job.
Oh, damn.
They won't even let me have one to quit. No, hey, seriously, thanks for coming down.
Always a
sorry for any
pleasure.
miscommunications. I'm glad you're taking blame for it because usually it's my fault.
Oh, it's okay, man. I've been married before, so I know what it's like to take blame for everything I do.
Right.
Oh, thanks for having me again. I always enjoy coming.
Yeah, hey, thanks for coming down. We will definitely have you guys coming back on. Definitely going to have to hook up and have Kenny come back and talk about the triple R, the quadruple R. I'm sorry, the quadruple
Maybe
R.
I'll come back up here with him, man, and we'll all rap together.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a plan. I'll call Kenny when I get done here.
In the meantime, everybody remember, it is the 6th of July down at the Roundhouse, what we call the Roundhouse in Wood River. And that is a free show, 7
To 8:30.
to 8:30.
Maybe a little longer, depending on how it goes.
Exactly. Whipping post is going to go on for 20 minutes.
No, we've been cutting it back. I told him, I said, man, we got to make this like the 5-minute studio version on this because it's long.
What?
But we
But
don't
it was-
do
it's-
it.
it's so much
sounds
fun, though. I
so
mean,
much fun to
roll
play.
it
man.
in the
All of us get to
Jam
just,
and-
just
Yeah.
you get to turn loose.
Yeah,
That's one
it's a
song
lot
I
of
get to get on that
frickin'
bass and just
fun.
go nuts on.
To me, that is some of the most fun time is when a song is free enough that there's room for everybody to move and shake. The song, the tune's still going on, but you get the freedom to play it the way that you feel at that exact moment, and hopefully the band all moves and shakes together.
And we kind of switched things, just like 24 Hours of Time. We kind of got a studio version with a little bit of live because I like to throw that bass solo in there, but I'm not going to do the 20-minute one like the Charlie Daniels version.
Well,
But
that's a mishap right there.
Yeah.
I think you should do the 20-minute version.
It's going to be hot, Pigpen.
I just saw one of my favorite, probably like my favorite band to see right now on tour, came to St. Louis Saturday.
Who's
Joe
that?
Russo's Almost Dead.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you what, they did a 20-minute version of one of my favorite songs. They did Death Has No Mercy, and they played it for 50. But nobody's bored because these guys are
Right.
they're not just doing a little circle and passing the hat. Even they're improvising and making it jazzy and moving and shaking with it, man. And it's
Showman's.
Yeah, it's not the same way that they played it any night before, So there you go.
Yeah.
I'm getting the hook. I'm being hooked off stage right now.
I'm not hooking you. You're your own hook.
Always to buy my own.
Dennis, it's always a pleasure. Like I said, I
always a
enjoy
pleasure,
coming down and
guys.
talking with you guys.
Always.
All right.
And hopefully we'll get to see you guys out at
Come by. Come by the reunion. Come by the Jam in Winter.
Yeah.
When you were jamming in Wood River, I will be at the Finger Lakes in upstate New York.
Nice.
Otherwise, I would definitely.
You're gonna be in the Finger Lakes.
Yep.
the 6th?
I'm leaving on the 6th is when I'm either the 5th or 6th
Nice
is when I
area.
leave to drive out there. Yeah.
I lived in New England for 2 years, so I know that whole area. up
Yeah.
there. And,
That's
yeah, it's pretty neat.
pretty. Actually, last year we went to a lake that reminded me of home. It was shaped like a Y, and it ran north. The Y was the exit, so the water came in on the bottom and it ran that way. It actually came in on the top and it ran that way and that. So the water was running backwards on the lake, and it made me feel at home. It really did.
Wow.
Because we are where the old river turns here.
Yep.
Flips around for a minute. Everything gets weird when water runs north, bro. That's why I like those places. So anyway, all right. I say I won't keep any longer. I know everyone has things to do. Even though I just want to look at you just for.
I don't have anything to do. I could stay for the rest of the show if you want.
The show's over. The show ended 12 minutes ago.
Oh damn!
Hey,
so we've been off the air for 12 minutes.
No, we're still on the air, but
Hi, Mom.
some other show's supposed to be on right now. So we're gonna say this. Hey, thanks to Ed, thanks to Jimmy, thanks to Dennis, thanks to Halpin Music. And thanks to Matt Van Vorst from Macias Insurance, the sponsors of the show. Thanks to all the guys in Backyard Blues Band that didn't show up. Danny, Dave, and Jim. Next time I expect some more. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, seriously, thanks to all you guys. Thanks to everybody listening. Remember, the 28th of September, Roxana's Rock and Roll Reunion. The 6th of July, down at the Roundhouse, the backyard,
man. You said it again.
I know.
What do I look like? Down. This road don't go down until you done made a wrong turn.
Go back where you come
Get
from.
them panties on off.
Squeal like a pig. All right, hey.
You got us a baby.
What? and with all of that said, whatever it is you're going to do, everybody, remember, get out and support local music and art.